Right guys, this is going to be a 200k Nightfall solo on the Hunter on strange terrain. For those that just want to see that run, then skip to time on the screen. For the rest of you, showing my weapons, subclass and Nightfall card. First of all, the card. The card setup is a 5x multiplier. We have 210 Power Handicap on there, Singe, Extinguish, Momentum and Match Game. As for our subclass, we're using Arcstrider top tree with Arcbolt Grenade. Gambler's dodge, we're pairing that with the melee just in case we need health regen or something and we use our melee and we can dodge to get our melee back and whatnot. We don't need marksman's dodge, which will become clear why. I'm not running that. As for our armor, none of the perks were optimized at all, but we did have Raiden Flux on so that our super lasts longer and does more damage, so it's always been a nice pairing to use with. In terms of weapons, we're using Bad Juju, Loaded Question, and this grenade launcher here, which is an aggressive solar grenade launcher with spike grenades on it. Match games on the card, like I stated earlier, so we are not dealing with any void, so you don't need to set up for any void at all. It's mainly arc. It's 90% arc and like 5 or 10% solar. There's 3 or 4 solar shields to deal with in this, depending on what rotation of adds you are that you're getting. It's mainly the wizards that have the solar shields. All the knights have arc. Okay, so I just thought this was nice to put on. Plus, I can use it for boss damage and ripping down the shield. You could alternatively use your machine gun, but then you're not going to have the boss DPS, but it would still work. It's just something that I wanted to use. Loaded Question was on as well. Now, this is just mainly for dealing with the amount of knights. There's a lot of orange bar knights and yellow bar knights to deal with, so that's why that was on. And Bad Juju just for the ad clear. That's the setup and everything. Let's show me the run. So straight away we'll quick summon our Sparrow so that we can get to the first room as quickly as we can, not to waste any time. Now this first room will dictate the amount of ads, what sort of ads you're going to get later on in the fight. Okay, so there's 2 different rotations. There's the wizard rotation, we'll call it, and then there's the knight rotation. So if you get a yellow bar knight, it means you're going to get a lot of more knights and ogres later on in the fight. Whereas if you get a wizard, a yellow bar wizard in this room, you will get Curse for All and Shriekers. That's how it's dictated, basically. Now, in terms of score, this rotation's a better one. Having the knight is a better one, but it's not required. You can still get 200k on the wizard rotation. Just it will be like second around about 10k less as a result. Okay, so this sort of run with my build up and my setup is all about me farm my super, get my super for when I want it. So right now we wanted our super for this next room that we're approaching, since I want a quick clear out of it. I use Loaded Question to take down the shields of these knights, to stagger them, and then use Bad Juju to farm my super. Once we're good on that, how this room works is that obviously you've got the ads in front of you, but the additional ads that spawn in won't spawn until you get just before that rock there. So you want to push up. Obviously you'll have momentum on the card, so you can push up like that. Push up, spawn in all the ads, then pop your super to get the most out of it so that you can kill both yellow bar knights and all the red bar knights, because all these knights, especially the red bars, are actually quite tanky if you start using ammo on them. Okay? This way you're saving your heavy, you're saving Loaded Question and whatnot. Once we're done with that, we'll clear up the rest of the room. I had an additional knight spawn, so I just took him out. And we can go ahead with the next encounter. Like I said earlier, it's all about farming for my super for the next time I need it, which the next time I would like it is for when we face against a wizard and 4 orange bar knights. That's when we want our super for, so we'll farm the ads and use Bad Juju as much as we can to generate the orbs and super. We use it on the Brawl and the Curse Brawl. until we can't, until we have to use another question. We'll see here I generated like 5-6 orbs. That sometimes happens with weapons. I don't know why that sometimes happens in the game. I usually get my super for when I want it anyways at the wizard, but just meant that I had my super indefinitely before it. We're going to use loaded question again on the Arcshielded Knights, and then Bad Juju on the 3 acolytes behind. Once we take out the 3 acolytes, there'll be 2 additional shielded knights to take out. This is a heavy brick right in front of me. Use 2 shots each of my grenade launcher on them. Take them out quickly. And pick up the brick, of course. This is another good time to be, if you are going to do an arc staff run, this is a good place to pop your super. So I do an Arcbolt Grenade first to get the most out of my super, and then finish them off with light attacks. Okay. No need to use heavy attacks on them. Then we'll do our dodge, and then do an R1, R1, R2. That's light, light, heavy. That takes down the Solar Shield match game Solar Shield, no problem. Then we can finish off the wizard. Effectively spawn killer, so that, because if you don't spawn kill that wizard, she will back up right up into where all the rest of the acolytes are, making a bit more of a pain to take out. Once we've dealt with the shielded knights, we'll then finish off the remaining acolytes, and then this is where the Thrall will come in, which we'll exclusively use, of course, Bad Juju for it. It's like I said, Bad Juju, it's a good one to run in this one, just because the amount of Thrall that we deal with at the boss, in this room, everywhere, to be honest. Definitely not. It'd be definitely a waste of score just to skip all these Thrall, which you can easily skip them, but like I say, you can take them out that quick. It's not worth to skip them. Of course, we've got our super back now. We're not going to use it in this room since it would be a waste. This room, there's only a couple of acolytes, 2 knights to take, so use our fusion on those and take them out pretty quick. The next room that we're approaching, I would say, is probably the most difficult for people, since the ogre can wreck you, but you just need to know how to play this room, and what the sort of best places are to engage. So we're going to save a couple of adds up. We're not going to kill all these acolytes and stuff. Pop a super straight away. We have the ogre rotation since we're on the knights, since we got a knight at the start. If you had got a wizard, it would have been a shrieker in here. So we used our super here for the 2 knights and the ogre. Just a good place to use it. And once we're done with that, we want to get rid of our super, since we want to farm for our next super. So take out any acolytes nearby. We can start throwing orbs. Now the wizard, the wanted target, you just want to leave alone. Not worth your time, not worth wasting your heavy ammo on and stuff. We haven't got heavyweight on the card, you know, so you don't want to be using your heavy too much. Plus we have a grenade launcher. Yeah, they're not meant to deal with a lot of adds and stuff. They're just for the boss damage. So you don't want to be wasting ammo on that. Okay, so we've threw our 2 crystals. What will be happening right now, you won't be able to see it, but the ogre will be spawning in. If you were on the other rotation, there would be a shrieker right above me right now, which you'd have to take out. You have to take out that key target. For me, it's the ogre before the next couple of knights can spawn in. Once the knights spawn in, I like to come up here, since there'll be a couple of acolytes and 2 snipers. I want to take out the snipers, since they can be a pain when you're trying to fight the ogre and the rest of the adds. So definitely worth being up here for that. Then once you've dealt with them, you can go back to ground floor. Always try and stay in cover as much as you can. If you are like engaging where the ogre is attacking, then be sure to have momentum to keep you alive. Just get to safe places. Okay, so I believe this is, I think we have one more orb to pick up over there. Now, they patched this with the knights where knights weren't spawning in. It was ages ago, I can't even remember when they've done it, but what happens now is that the knight spawns crazy. Like even if you've got 2 balls on the floor, if it's like been 20 or 30 seconds, the game will just keep spawning knights in and knights in, you know. So if you are getting a lot of knights that are overwhelming, you just take out what's in your way and then get your orb. But you don't want to waste too much time on this bit, since you want to get to the boss in a good time, since there's a lot of score to be to get from there as well. Once we've taken down the last orb, of course the ogre will then go into free roam mode, so he'll be running around, going to damage him out a little bit. Now, when this happens, there'll be a lot more orange bar acolytes spawn into the room. If you tag any before you kill the ogre, you will get points for them. I didn't utilise the maximum score you can get from this room, since like I said, I didn't want to waste too much time, but you can really, like I said, tag all the ads around in the room and then kill the ogre. Have to cut that lights up, but they were on 160k 9 minutes in, and we want to just get to the boss now. Okay, so when we approach the boss room, of course, we're going to have the 4 shielded knights, so it's important that we have whatever arc weapon you've got on, that you've got a lot of ammo of it. Another good weapon to have in this one is Risk Runner. I was going to use Risk Runner, but I wanted to do a bad Juju run instead, but if I didn't use bad Juju, I would have used Risk Runner. It's really good for the knights. These particular knights do solar damage, but most of the knights in this are doing arc, and Risk Runner can deal with all the knights, even the yellow bars. Now we've taken down the knights, we're gonna do our boss damage as much as we can. Kind of force the phase. It's also important not to sort of do a lot of boss damage while Thrall around you, especially if you're using a grenade launcher. Obviously you can easily kill yourself. So you want to deal with one thing at a time. That's the key with this room. Momentum is also another important factor. If you're not running momentum on this Nightfall and you solo, you best come in with some sort of health regen perks, because this room can get, especially on the last couple of phases, can get out of control if you don't kill things accordingly. So right now we're on the Thrall phase. Now we can sit back anywhere. What I like about the Noctis fight is that it ramps up in difficulty. So right now the boss is immune and it's just sitting there, right? On the next phase, the boss will be immune, but will then start firing at you, but will just stand there, right? And then on the very last phase, the boss will be immune, will be firing at you, and will be free roaming on the map to get you anywhere, even behind the rocks. So we're waiting for a good opportunity to use our super, which the best time is when the knights spawn in. The left knight always spawns in before the right side. As soon as you kill the left knight, the right knight will spawn in. So your key targets are always the knights. The smaller ads you can deal with your weapons. Okay, so once we're good, we'll take down the crystals. We had, like I said here, I mean, got the knight spawning in already. It's only been like 10-20 seconds and another knight spawns in, but just take him down, whatever. And before you take down the crystal, you want to get into a good spot for damage, which I like to do damage around about here, since snipers spawn in. So it's, you can kind of do, you know, your damage safe without the snipers bothering you. It's always important to do those damage phases quickly, because you want to get as much points as you can within the 15-minute bracket, and when a phase starts you get a lot of points. Now on this phase it's the wizard phase, which I like to stay on the right side of the map for that, since I can spawn kill one of the wizards. Since the wizards can be awkward, they can dodge your shots and whatnot. That's the reason why I do that. I'll deal with the thrall first, since they're all following me, and then we can deal with the wizard. Once I take down the wizard, the knights, the next phase will begin. I'm just waiting for the good positioning for the knight, and then we'll take him with loaded question. We don't have our super, but we're going to use it for the next phase I think I end up doing. Which isn't a problem. Like I said, loaded question can 2-3 shot these knights, no problem. Especially if we've got reservoir burst. Also, when you have cleared out your adds and you're doing the balls at the very end, that's a good opportunity to pick up any ammo that you might need. Since, like I say, I mean, you are using your weapons quite a lot in this. Same again, now we're on the very last phase, or the one before it, should I say. We want to do as much damage as we can. We don't have any heavy left, but fine, we'll use loaded question for that. Now the boss, like I said, can be dangerous once it's free roaming, but on the right side of the map, stay behind this rock. It's a good place for cover. Right now I'm kind of ignoring the ads, staying in cover and doing my damage to initiate the next phase again. Of course, there's two snipers. They are always at the back with the boss. You want to take those out. We're nearly 15 minutes in. We have more than the 200k, so effectively wanting to wrap the fight up by now. We do have our super, but we're going to use that for when we, when it's relevant to use it. Like I said, the boss does ramp up in difficulty. Now he is free roaming, and he's immune, and he's attacking us. If you are getting wrecked on a particular side, it's always best just to rotate. That's the best thing you can do with this fight. Knights have just spawned in, so we can use our super now. Mainly with this, I just wanted to clear out the full room since there was a lot of adds up, so that was my main concern. That's what makes Raiden so good in this fight. I mean, you could do a Liar's Handshake run, it would be a good run. You would never struggle for boss damage and stuff, but yeah, I just wanted to do a Raiden Flux run instead. Okay, so now that we're done with that, we'll take the crystals, and then this will be the final phase. Now on the final phase, if you have no super and you don't have ammo, it can be hard work since the shielded knights that spawn. So that's another important reason why you want to save some ammo for that last phase if you're going to kill those knights. Same time, you could just, like I say, finish the boss off once you do the last crystal. Since we were still under 18 minutes, I just wanted to finish all the other adds. So same again, we'll get two snipers spawning at the back. Be wary of those. And with this sort of last phase, you just want to play to where the rocks are. The boss is close, always rotate and just take out the knights with whatever special weapon you've got. Plus we're building our heavy back up so that we can use that to finish the boss off as well. We've got 10 shots. Yeah, so there's still a sniper up and an acolyte, so I think I wanted to finish off with those and then get the boss. Once we're done with that, like I said, we can just finish the boss off. Like I said, you could do a tether run on this, it would work really well. I'm just more of an Arcstrider type of guy. That's just what I find more enjoyable. Especially with the amount of arc shields we've got. I just think Arcstrider is a better run than Night Stalker, but a Night Stalker run would be really good as well. If you're a hunter main, you could still do a run like that. But anyways, that was the 200k run. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.